These clips became this real. Yesterday, I went to a hackathon in Chicago and saw something that I have not been able to stop. And I never even opened a video editing timeline. Oh, and one prompt did all this. Every creator I know has the same problem. You go to an event, you record a bunch of stuff on your phone, and then it sits in your camera roll for 3 weeks because just the thought of opening CapCut and dragging 30 clips into it makes you want to lie down. And before you go there, I know Opus Clips exists, but it needs one long video. CapCut needs you to reassemble. For my Descript fans, it's limited to talking heads. Nothing handles the messy dump. So, fellows and fellerinas, yesterday I went to a hackathon, came home with a dozen clips, some vertical, some horizontal, half of them with terrible audio. My constraint was I wanted a postable reel by tonight. So here's what I did instead of editing. And I'll be showing you 3 iterations of this pipeline. Each one does more than the last. By the third, you're straight up making something that no other tool can make. So that is my promise to you. So here's level 1. I'm going to drop everything into one folder, about 15 clips or so. Some are sideways from when I forgot to rotate my phone. Some are just dark, like there's literally you can't even see anything on them. And one is 14 seconds of just my shoes while I walk. I'm not going to clean any of it. That is the whole point. My weapon of choice for this happens to be Codex. If you're trying to use Claude code, that's totally fine. If you like VS Code, that's also fine. It doesn't matter. The prompts are written, so they work anywhere. So what's the prompt? I just say that I have raw clips. Build a Remotion composition that produces a postable 9:16 aspect ratio reel, max 60 seconds. These are my instructions for each clip. Here are some composition rules. And then that is where our output will go, and literally drag in all of our clips into our folder. So if you literally just select all that and then just dump it here, it does the same exact equivalent of what we're asking it to do. We'll hit send and see. We'll keep an open mind, as one does. It did say that it found an existing Remotion workspace, but that's just because I've obviously done this before. In your case, this is a nothing burger because it's going to do that for you. Another thing worth mentioning here is that the reframe is really important. If you're anything like me, sometimes I just forget, and instead of shooting, vertical, I start shooting horizontal. I know this is a skill issue, but a big part of AI is to help us despite our skill issues. Okay, great. So I think it ended up doing all of the scaffolding work. I think for whatever reason, it still doesn't realize that this folder is already in the workspace that it wants it in. So all I'm going to do is just go to info or get info for my folder, and then just paste it here and say it's already in playground folder, and I'll share the screenshot so it knows how to find it. And again, I'll say real tutorial, which I think that should work, but we shall see if it needs more help finding out where the folder is. Okay, great. Yep. So as you can see, it was looking in a different place. So just for context, my Codex does not have access to my downloads. This is by design. It does have access to other places on my Mac. So that was the issue there. But as you can see, it's like now actually doing the editing using the scaffolding that it had just built in the previous step. As of this point, I don't even need to be here. I'm probably just going to, I don't know, grab a water or something. But we shall come back and check what this has been up to. A quick note on what just happened here. It asked me permission to open the browser for doing the Remotion rendering. This is actually completely optional. If this is not something you're comfortable with, you can definitely skip that. It will still be able to get basically the same result using a straight ffmpeg stitch. So if you do get tripped up in this step, don't worry about it. Just say that you don't need to use the browser. Just do an ffmpeg stitch and it will still be able to run and complete it normally without any issues. However, as you can see here, it doesn't actually need to open a browser window. All right, so video just finished rendering. Let's see how we did. Yesterday, I went to a hackathon in Chicago, and over half the creators there were doing this. and not promise me that you will try it this weekend. You can see that already just right out of the gate with level 1, we have been able to one shot a 45-46 second reel here that you can go ahead and post. We did give it instructions to only have captions when you're speaking something. We did see there were some issues with the captioning and such. A few things worth mentioning here. When you're tinkering with these AI tools trying to do stuff like this, I like to keep front and center in our attention that ultimately this is teamwork, and just because the AI can do something for you doesn't mean that it has to. What I mean by that is, if you do just a little bit due diligence in terms of cleaning up what you're submitting, like don't give it stuff that's horizontal, just don't give it stuff which is not usable. 80% of your use cases this will work. We will fix the captioning here, so I realize that that's something that's blocking us. But if your goal is to just right out of the bat get something postable without having to do the stitching, this gets us there. Okay, so here's what we're doing for step 2. First up, we're building tier 2. That's the name of our new file from the same folder inputs. The biggest difference here is before we even decide which clip to use, we're going to score them, right? So what are we going to score them from? It's this stuff. So phase detection, audio energy, sharpness, motion stability, exposure check. So it rejects if the luminance is too less, which makes it so if it's too dark or overexposed and such, it will just straight up reject that. Captions now are done right. The previous caption had typos. Fix this with this verification loop, and like I said, you will have all of these prompts ready to be pasted in. Just check out the Google Doc linked in the description. We have a domain dictionary. We also have the ability to cut out filler and dead air as well as retakes. So in the previous clip that you just saw, I said a line. I obviously butchered it like I do, and I guess some of us, I guess, maybe do that. Hopefully I'm not the only one. So it's going to automatically remove those retakes, cut silences, like I said. And the other thing is it detects the BPM of the MP3 file. So this is just a file you can get from YouTube library, or you can just download however you want, whatever file you want to use for music. It reduces the volume so folks can still hear what you're saying. And then there's some context blurbs, some other composition rules. Finally, it makes sure there's a manifest and it prints that so you can review later if you want. This is all optional. And then finally, once it does all of those things, it just renders it. So let's give that a quick run. And yeah, to address the elephant in the room, yes, I did take a shower, because when you have AI editing your videos, it just frees up the time for you to do stuff like that. I will, I guess, come back when this is done and we'll go from there. All right, let's see how we did on this one. We should have the music. The transcript should be now fixed, and the transitions, the cuts should occur with the music beats. From mentoring over 30 people today at the Chicago Creator Hackathon. As you can see, we have title cards for stuff that as and when it happens in the video automatically generated as well. Yesterday, I went to a hackathon in Chicago and saw something that I have not been in the cutting edge of tech and AI. All right, so tier 3 is where things get really, really interesting. Biggest change here is we bring in elements of storytelling. So what we have Codex or Claude Code or whatever you have doing is that for each clip, it extracts the timestamps using this priority. So when you film these clips using your camera, it has the metadata of when you filmed those things. And so this uses that time to then stitch together a timeline of what happened when. Once you do that, it classifies the narrative structure. So the narrative structure here, it has the first spine. So that's your act 1. In my case, that was arrival setup. Then we had the moment insight, and then there was the takeaway CTA. And then finally, it does the transcription with verification. It removes fillers and dead air. And then there's slide overlays, right? So when we have an outline.md, it builds a slide, just to serve as extra context instead of just the title cards. We should get entire just straight up slides over here. These are rules for the slide rendering, composition geometry, captions, runtime, manifest before render, All right, let's see how we did here. Yesterday, I went to a hackathon in Chicago and saw something that I have not been able to stop thinking about. Top three learnings from mentoring over 30 people today at the Chicago Creator Hackathon. So, a couple things right off the bat. I hope you noticed that the first switch happened exactly where the beat changed. And also, the sound of the audio fluctuated based on whether or not I was talking, right? So, when this is just like a B roll that's meant to be an interlude almost, the volume went up, which was by design. And we did ask for that on our prompt. Over half the creators there were doing this and not telling anyone. Cool. And then let's quickly check if it was able to do the CTA slide that we talked about. The link to the repo is in my bio. Pretty good, I guess. The link to the doc is in the description. Feel free to steal that, do whatever with it that you would like. As long as you're able to generate some videos, that's a win win across the board. Try and film vertical, try to not film garbage. When you're talking, it helps to just record one sentence at a time or one blurb of sentences at a time instead of everything at once, knowing that you're going to use each of them as a module to plug together to make this if you're using this system anyway. The first couple runs, you will run into issues in terms of executing it. And if you're thinking that, okay, but by the time I do all that, I can just quickly open up CapCut and do it manually. And you would be right. You would be right with the caveat that the compounding for this occurs with volume. So while you could do that for the first one when this breaks and such, once you have invested that effort upfront, once you have your system that knows what you want to do, how you like to work, after that, it's just a question of giving it 5 folders and straight up going to bed and waking up to 5 fully finished reels. That is the true power of this system. And I do want to be upfront about that, upfront. From what I've found, the people that benefit the most from this system are those that actively go to events, that like to record their thoughts, and mostly creators that like to produce a lot of volume. Somebody that's only posting one reel a week, while that's great, this system is not an ideal replacement for that. You are definitely better off just using CapCut because, again, there's no need for you to do all. However, if you're trying to work with volume, if you have a lot of thoughts to share, if you build content around multiple flywheels and have a lot of pillars that you like to talk about, most of whom are talking heads, some of them are montage heavy. Anything that involves stitching of small clips together, you should already be thinking of how to use this system. Obviously, it's impossible for me to attack everybody's use cases in like a 7-8 minute YouTube video. My point of showing you this was to just open up the world of possibilities of what's out there for you. And then, on that same note, there's nothing that gives me more pleasure than you all coming back and writing in comments your creative use cases that you use this system for. So, I mean, I don't know what else there is to say. I don't know why you're still here. Go out there, start building some reels real quick. And of course, before you do that, if you watch till here, how are you not subscribed? Like, there, I'm sorry, but it logically just makes no sense for you to not be subscribed because I have a bunch of other AI for creators based videos coming up. Those will continue to help you add value to your lives. So let's get building. And until next time.